Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so therapy session, man. Do a therapy session because had another shooting out there in Tennessee that we often talk about the shootings in this country on this channel during these therapy sessions because well, honestly, it affects everybody. It affects everybody in the country, whether you care or don't. It does definitely rile up conversation when people start talking about these type of things. Um, a transgender man walked into a Presbyterian school, shot 3 children. Um, I believe he was a janitor and a substitute teacher. Um, and the cops came in, did a fantastic job. They had the body cam that has already been released, and I thought the Tennessee police did a fantastic job getting in there, neutralizing that person, and putting an end to the carnage. But it's one of those situations where, of course, after that, the conversation is, what do we do now? How do we feel about this? Let's point our fingers and point at the people who are supporting the guns. Those are the type of things that happen every time this happens. But I don't think we really get anywhere. We don't get nowhere. We talk about. I've gone many times, maybe about 3 or 4 times into the I don't think people need assault rifles spiel. I think I went into that probably around a 60 mark in my therapy session process or something, maybe in the 60s, who knows, somewhere early on. We had conversations about this, and it was sad because we had a conversation about my opinion on that, and then maybe like 7 days later we had a massive shooting. And so it was like I got a chance to revisit the thought, but I don't want to get into a spiel about whether or not I think people should have assault rifles. I think that it's obvious that some people just do not need access to them. And from what I understand, this transgender man walked into a Walmart or some type of spot and purchased those weapons. No, excuse me, let me get this right. This person walked into like several different places where you can buy weapons and bought weapons. They had mental health documentation saying that they weren't on point, but the state of Tennessee, from what I understand, removed a bunch of mental health provisions as it pertains to people being all right to pick up weapons and being mentally ill. So this is something that directly contributed to the death of those people and those children. For me to say I'm tired of this, I'm tired of that, I don't think it matters. I think we're getting to a point where even if I supported it, we need to do something. Even if I was somebody who's holding a weapon in my hand right now, ready to shoot it, we still need to do something. There's too much power in the hands of those who are okay with children dying at the hands of these weapons so long as they hold them themselves. You got too much power, friend. Regardless of whether or not you should have your weapon or not, that's irrelevant. You have too much power. Your sway is not backed by your morals, it's backed by your money. And if there was more money on the side of people who didn't want assault rifles in people's hands, they would be taken from you legally. You can shoot them all you want, you go to jail for 100 years. That's how that would go if they really wanted to put a stop to this. It's a lot of people who are saying you got to pull my guns out of my dead hands, and people do not want to do 50 years for having an assault rifle. They don't want to do that. They can say whatever they want. They are going to give those guns away. They're going to hand those guns to those cops like they're supposed to. There will be some who will want to do the shootout there. A lot of them will. But at the end of the day, the reason why these guns need to be taken out of everyone's hands is because they do not hold any other purpose than mass killing. Yet we're not using these weapons to slaughter cows. That's not what you're doing. You're not using these weapons to demolish buildings. You're not using these weapons to do anything other than kill humans. And so, yes, are there humans that you need to protect yourself from in regards to having these guns? Maybe, sure. In the wide universe of things to think about, yes, there's a threat out there that might want to come into your home. Yes. But the way that these individuals who have that in their minds convince themselves of the necessary need for them to have massive amounts of weapons, that does not align with the threat that may or may not be coming their way. It doesn't. That's culture. That's culture of paranoia, and that's culture of gun worship. And most importantly, to be honest with you, it's demonic energy, because all it's really doing is telling you that you are in control of what happens to you, when really we can't protect ourselves from really anything. Least of all by bombarding ourselves with projectile weapons that can hit people who are not a part of whatever shootout you're in. See, that's the only thing I care about in regards to gun. If you can convince me that you can make every single bullet heat-seeking so that it can hit where it needs to go no matter what, then we cool. Because I know the bullets are going, no matter where they go, they're going to land where they need to go. So whatever it is they're intending to shoot at is going to get hit regardless. If you can make the technology make that kind of sense, we can amend our thought entirely, because we can cut down on the accidental deaths. Gun doesn't pop if someone 6 years old is around. It just jam. I'm sorry, you're going to get shot up. Because the gun's going to jam if a 6-year-old's around. Like, these are the type of things, if we really care about fixing the problems, we'll work our way into finding technology that helps us, and rules and things and things that align with saving lives and allowing people to still hold these weapons. But they don't care about that. They know they can't do nothing about that, and they don't care. And they will use their paranoia as an excuse to allow each and every person in their household and in their circumstance, in their circle, to have weapons so that they can go about their lives armed. And I'm telling you, if I can buy a gun at Walmart, I can buy 300 at Walmart if I got a lot of money. A lot of these people, they don't have guns for no other reason than to wait for someone to come to their house, find them, and take them from them, and proceed to take them somewhere else. This is the problem I have with a lot of these people. This is the problem I have with a lot of them. These guns, they're in existence. And you are just a private person. You are not going to destroy the gun that you get. You're not going to do that. What you're going to do is bring it to yourself, put it in your house, take a bunch of pictures with it, maybe take it hunting or something like that, and wait for whatever it is you're afraid of to come to your house so you can be trigger happy about whatever it is that you finally want to get a chance to shoot. That's literally all your American behind going to do. That's it. You're going to take pictures of your thing, you're going to look at it, it's going to sit in your house, and you're going to feel powerful so that anybody that looks like me or anybody else come to your house, you're going to have the ability to protect yourself. Even though you're not protecting yourself, because you're over bombarding the environment with projectile weapons that can kill people that are not involved in your shootout. You are putting metal weapons into the world, and you're bringing them to a space where people are going to be able to come to you and either get them from you, or you're going to shoot them to keep them from doing that. Or they're going to be in your household, you're going to die, your kids are going to go on, and it's going to pass on. These things still going to be in your house. After you pass away, you're going to still have these old, rickety AR-15s in your house. And you know what's going to happen then? No. You absolutely don't. You have no idea. All you know is that you got your gun right now. Or a set of weapons or whatever. You don't know what's going to happen with them weapons tomorrow. But I tell you what they're going to be able to do. They're still going to be able to shoot. 100 years from now, an AR-15 is still going to be able to shoot. 100%. And you know what else? All the other AR-15s that they made are still going to be able to shoot then too. And all the weapons they're going to make up between now and then are also still going to be in existence, capable of shooting. We're going to have more guns than we have humans. How much sense does that make? We got more guns than we need to kill everybody. That's what I'm saying. It's like, what are you really protecting? What are you really protecting? Your culture that you love to have guns and everything, but you don't want to make it so that your gun laws are have parity across the country. You can go to one state to have a gun, go to the next state, get sent 2 years for having a gun. Go to New York. I can't even pop my gun in the air without going to jail for 2 years. I go down to Tennessee. I could be back crazy and buy a gun on my 18th birthday. No, several assault rifles that can kill a fleet of people on my birthday. And it's fine because I live in this state. In this state, we love our guns. And so I know if I need a gun, where to go. See, that's the problem. That's the problem. That is the problem. Ambitious as it is to hold all those weapons, at the end of the day, a lot of the people who have them can't keep nobody from taking them from them. They can't. They may be trained to a degree. They ain't trained like they need to be in a lot of cases. Not like they need to be to secure that those weapons are never taken from their hands and used somewhere they ain't no business going. They can't secure that. Pop their little weapons off, get rid of all them little bullets, and then somebody come in. A fleet of people come in after you done ran out of ammo, take all of them from you. They'll provide their own ammo. That's what's going to happen. Nobody see that coming, but that's what's possible. That's what really happens when you got little people running around with their little AR-15. You don't have enough ammo. You don't have enough ammo, bro. You don't have enough ammo for the type of threat that you think is coming. You don't have enough ammo. If you think the Chinese are coming, they're going to come, wait for you to pop all your bullets out, and they're going to come in with more people. See, that's what I know. This is what I understand. And then people talk, we got our guns. You don't know what that. You're afraid. You are afraid to go to places where people use guns regularly. You don't even go to the hood. You don't even want to go over there. You're afraid to go to these places. But you're armed enough to kill everybody. But you're afraid. You're terrified, which is why you're armed. If you were Braveheart, you wouldn't need all the damn guns. Think about it. Why would you need them if you were that brave? Why would you need an overload of weapons with no plan? No plan. I can't tell you how many people I see, pictures of Americans. They got like 5-year-old kids. One of them got an assault rifle. The next one got an assault rifle. American culture. What is going to happen to those guns, friend? You got it secured, huh? You got it? Nobody can come take it from you because you got it. Unprecedented things that people can't seem to fathom that unfortunately go through my mind at ease. Absolute ease. When real insurgents are coming to take assault rifles from Americans, if they truly run into something like that, it ain't gonna be no keeping those insurgents from those weapons. They take those weapons. And so, as I come to understand this, I just want us to start thinking about these type of things ourselves when we continue to overload regular citizens with army guns. When they're not even built for that. 9 out of 10 times. They're not even built for what it is that they have in their hands. Half of them need training. And the ones who are training need to understand that that's just your environment, friend. And that gun can come out of your household. That gun can come out of your environment. That gun will likely have a future outside of your hands. And that is what people need to hang their hat on. Not just being so caught up in today. Because everybody who does anything in 2023 is doing it for today. Give me the money today. Give me the numbers today. Is anybody doing math for the trajectory of tomorrow? And what the hell we're doing with all this stuff? I'm sitting there holding a plastic bottle. Do we have plans for all this plastic we're creating? Yeah, do we have plans? Are we going to do something with that stuff that doesn't entail it having a lasting life, destroying our earth or destroying our atmosphere? Because that's all you're going to do is you're going to throw it in the ocean, you're going to throw it out into the atmosphere and let it float in space until space gets overloaded with our bullcrap. Take all the concrete, you're going to throw it out in space. I know that's what you're going to do. This is my thing. It's like, look, I'm trying to normalize culture where the industrialism and capitalism is something that we consider while understanding how much harm these practices do long term. As we continue to tumble forward, getting rich and rich and richer, but the world is getting it's crumbling more so and more so and more so. So while everybody's getting rich, the world is deteriorating around you. And that's what I understand. It's going to be mansion over here, mansion over there, and squalor everywhere. And what happens to that mansion when the squalor's bad? When it's that bad, what is that mansion really worth? That's what I'm talking about. It's like it's going to be, we got a situation where our financial circumstances are in the dumps. I've been listening to Keenan Grace, someone also on the list that I've been praying about a long time. Keenan Grace is a young fellow who's telling everybody the good news about the stock market as it pertains to corruption and also stocks and all kinds of stuff, how to play options, all these different things that are very, very important. Very, very, very key young fellow out there doing God's work. And I was listening to him and he was telling us about what's going on with the banks. And the banks are over leveraged in a really, really ridiculous way. A certain amount of money is secured to be insured, and they over leverage like 10 times that. And half of the money that you have in your bank is gone, like literally gone. And they're trying to figure out how they can fix themselves, just like I told you they would. Whack-a-mole, it's all happening the way I said it was. But the point is, what happens when everybody money disappears, and then all they have to eat is those guns? Because they still gonna have the guns when the money run out. They're gonna sell those? Think about it. They're gonna sell those? I don't think people understand. I don't think they understand where our country's at right now as it pertains to our financial system versus the stress people have and then the amount of guns that are in hands of people who don't have good sense. They don't have good sense, bro. A lot of people who y'all selling these guns to, they're crazy to me. And I'm therapy session. We're doing it right now. You know what it is. If you've been watching, you know. These people, nobody should be able to walk into a Walmart who has mental illness, who has any type of suicidal thoughts or damaging thoughts or negative thoughts, constant. None of that. You should not. have access to any kind of projectile weapon. Not a bow. You shouldn't even be able to throw a dart. If we're thinking clearly as a country. But in this country, it's about the bottom dollar. Give me my profit. That's it. I don't care who has the guns because it ain't going to affect my house. I'm somewhere else. Let them shoot each other. Natural selection. Profit comes to me. There's so many of that indifference in this world. There's so many of that indifference running around our country. And those people have a lot of say. Power. But that power isn't nothing but demonic energy pointed south, man. It ain't going to do nothing but destroy our country from the inside out. That's all it's going to do. We got more guns than we got dollars. Literally. That's where we're at this point. As a country. So I'm just sitting here like, okay. And then it's like, all right. You want to blame the girl's social statement or her identity for why this took place? You can do that. But if you change the world to fit what it is that she wants it to be, then there'll be people who shoot up the school for that. See, that's what we have to understand. Don't let these people tell you that because she was of a certain community, now you got to cancel that community. She could have been anybody. There's always going to be an extreme reaction to any social point of view. If it's a bunch of people who love me, there's going to be somebody who wants to kill me because of it. If it's a bunch of people who love you, it's going to be somebody who wants to kill you because of it. It goes on and on and on, man. It doesn't end. And because we have so many different extremes in this country, in this melting pot of a country, we don't need everybody holding weapons. We don't need the paranoid and the unwise running the show. Blind leading the blind. No. They ain't wise enough to understand that they should care about something outside of their own hands. They don't. They can't see the fruit in just putting down their gun for the betterment of everybody putting down their guns. They don't see it. They're too fearful, too selfish, too gun happy. Too caught up in the culture of I got mine. I better have mine or somebody gonna shoot me. You're probably not even gonna die that way. Half the people who talk like that and think like that don't die that way. You're gonna die of cancer or something, bro. You're gonna die in a car accident. That's not how you're gonna die. But you are contributing to other people dying that way by holding them damn guns and thinking you got, a bunch of ninjas come to your house in some random night. That's literally never gonna happen. It's like you got a lot of people who believe because their sons and their daughters were Navy men, and that their sons and daughters they sent off to war that they too are supposed to be holding war guns. That's another problem with this country. My brother's a Marine. I ain't no damn Marine. He knows what he's doing with an AR-15. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with an AR-15. You see what I'm saying? And that's another thing that's wrong with this damn country. You got so many people coming back to this country who are of that world because we have convinced a lot of our people to go out and be soldiers for us. It's a wonderful thing. But you can't have these soldiers coming back with a mentality that everybody needs to be as paranoid as they were when they're out in the damn field. When they come home and they bring that energy back to their families and they tell their families what all they seen, their families are, well, I gotta get guns too. Yes, you do, because that's not. No, that's them not reacting well to coming home and you not being smart enough to see that properly. That's what that is. So that needed to be said because I think that contributes a lot to why people got the guns and everybody wants to train like soldiers because a lot of these dudes got their sons and their nephews coming home teaching them this bullshit. Let's just be real. So I know that part too. We are desperately in love with our army and our navy and our soldiers and all of that. And those people just got to come back and reincorporate themselves into our lives as our family members and friends and husbands and daughters, all this different stuff. And what I'm telling you is that directly contributes to our paranoia as a country. When you send people over to trauma, tell them to kill, and then bring them back and tell them to raise families. Like that's supposed to be normal. We've been doing that the whole time. Like that ain't forced trauma into the household. We barely come around to understand mental health. You know you're bringing murderers back to your household, right? Literally. Trained soldiers that kill repeatedly. Taught to snuff out all fear, snuff out all indicators that otherwise they shouldn't be kamikaze missions. To go up against whatever the evils are in the world. Or to do the bidding of the evil in the world. Whatever the case may be. Point is, we are not taking into account that they are bringing all that spiritual energy, all that destruction back to our homes. And we ain't got no answer for that. We accept it as culture, no different than exploiting black images. It's just fine. That's how we do it. There's nothing wrong with that unless people want to complain about it. Then it has something wrong. It's like they want a mind like mine who thinks like this to just go along with all the stuff just because it's been going on for so long. What I'm telling you is it's not as it works. If something's been going on for 100 years and it looks silly to me, and it's just something that's been going on for 100 years, it looks absolutely silly. Okay? That's it. That's all it is. A caveman threw a rock at a wall. He shouldn't have. You understand what I'm saying? He shouldn't have. It bounced back and hit him in the head. He was stupid back then. That's it. He wasn't no genius because he lived back then and he had it figured out. He was just a guy. If we put him on, slap him on the side of $1 and act like he had it all together, maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he was just a guy who threw a rock at the wall and hit him back in the head. Long time ago. All I'm saying is this: a lot of times we follow our forefathers when they had it wrong. They didn't know the first thing about mental health. They didn't know the first thing about a lot of different things that we've learned since, but we want to continue to apply their stuff because I guess because ain't nobody heard me say this. I don't know. Because this carrying tradition that doesn't work, pushing trauma, putting more guns in our situation, ostracizing some people, telling other people they're more important, and when the situation goes left, then it's like, okay, someone wants to come up and do things. When you strum up, and we talk about the publications and all these different things in media and all the fake news and the CNN on this side and the Fox on that side, and they stir the pot so good as if they're really ops when they're probably owned by the same people. All I'm saying is this, man. We got a whole culture here that I think contributes to why we are so retarded. And I'm going to use that word, forgive me, but I'm retarded as it pertains to these damn guns. We ain't got a sense in our head or a thought that can work. Not a clue, nothing. We just run around getting money and adding the guns to our collection and just assuming that we're soldiers because of it or something. I don't get it. I don't like it. And I want some sense to be made of it. Sense. That is an aggressive weapon. You are not arming yourselves with protectant. Not everybody's putting on bulletproof vests and putting on bulletproof hats. No, they're getting the guns that shoot at others that will not protect anything. So that's for me to say to you. Guns ain't meant to save no lives. They're meant to take them. The only thing you're going to do good with that gun is take somebody else's life before they take yours. And as far as I can tell, neither one of y'all should have no damn guns. Neither one of you. You both shouldn't have it. So that's how I feel about that, man. I think it's real low-hanging fruit to point out who the individual was. They did what they did. They ended just the same. That was their plan. That is how it went. And I'm sorry that they were successful in taking other people's lives in that process, just like I always am. But I always look at the people who want to keep on saying that there's no problem with the guns. The good old American folks that want to say, well, one rock killed this guy and the other one killed David. Goliath, so it just depends on who has the rock in their hand. It's like they want to use these little silly analogies that have absolutely nothing to do with an assault rifle that can literally kill like 100 people. You know what I'm saying? In like a matter of 37 seconds. I want to sit up here and talk about rocks. You're not throwing rocks. That's not what that is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on now. It's not like we all run around with nines. That's not what you guys are trying to shoot. Every time there's any type of school shooting, it's an AR-15. Every single time, it's AR-15. It's always AR-15. It's every one is AR-15. Why? Because we promote the school shootings every time we talk about them. Well, you want to know the truth? Every time you tell us about one of these dudes, and another one pop up, every time you let somebody know how it went out with a blaze of glory, and they were able to kill this person, that person, and had their names plastered all over the news. There's some sad sack child that just didn't have nobody love him enough. Everybody bullied them, and now they were able to get their pound of flesh on the world by killing something beautiful. And you keep on showing them this model, and they keep on doing it. That's it. Homegirl saw everybody who did that. And she said, that's how I want my blaze of glory to go. I don't like my life. I don't like how things are going. People don't accept me. Blah, blah, blah. This is how I'm out. It's like you're giving these people ideas, man. They ain't even that. They're not there. So when they see stuff like this on CNN, just give them an idea. Oh, so I can get my gun at... Damn, so they don't have the provisions no more? I'm pretty sure somebody went and bought a gun when they saw that on TV. Like, wait a minute. So mental health provisions are not in Tennessee, and we can go get AR-15s at Walmart? Let's get out here. Let's go do that. I'm pretty sure somebody did that just because. And somebody gets to hoard the profits. And they sit back and they're real rich. And they're chilling on their villa or whatever they at. And they're making their money and they're doing whatever they do with it. And they think that they've justified the culture because everybody who has a gun is happy. Everybody who has it is happy. Everybody who has a gun in their attic, an AR-15 in their attic, is happy. Because they've extended their right to be murderers, potentially. Or to protect themselves from the ninjas that may be coming or something. With their infinite ammo. No end game whatsoever, man. No end game. People ain't strategists. They're just paranoid. They need to be taught how to protect things that they are not looking to protect, like the future and the possibility of your guns being used on you one day. That's why I'm like, man, to be honest with you, this is going to sound strange, but this is why I'm glad I'm 38 years into my life. I'm happy to be old. I'm happy that I've already gone through half of this bullcrap. I'm telling you, that's exactly how I feel. I'm almost 40 years old, and I don't want to do another 40 years of this. I don't, because they ain't made no sense of the world around me. Living is fine. Living in this society with these people and their hypocrisy and their love for guns and their love for money and their love for indifference, it ain't been a fun life. Not with a heart like this. It ain't been a fun life. Sitting around watching people deliberately do evil and be cool with it, and then tell people evil is good and good is evil, and pretend to truck along and then run into walls as they do, and it just becomes a situation where even if you reach your goals or you don't, whatever, you're still in that place. You're still there where people do these things and don't care. So yeah, I'm happy to be halfway over with this. Let's push it along, Lord. I kid you not. So that's how I feel when I wake up in the morning in America. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? So I don't know how you guys feel about it. Maybe you're in a much better situation. Maybe you don't see the world as ridiculous as I see it through my mind's eye, or at least this particular part of it. But these people are ridiculous to me. Quite literally ridiculous. Clueless. Your gun isn't going to end with you holding it. You die, and it goes on. And what ends up happening with that gun is your fault for ever bringing it to you. BDF 44. Thank you all for watching.